last 3 months, I really didn't understand how urban design fit into the larger city structures.
The city planning division sits within the B cluster under the city manager, John Levy, and urban design fits within the city planning division. The heart of my thinking in coming months is a possible reorganization that makes more sense, because at the end of the day, it's not so much about the work that I'm doing, it's about making sure that the work that we're doing is actually the best that we can do.
My first observation, the workplace. Being on the 19th floor in the East Tower, you really are not affected by the chaos sometimes that goes on at City Hall, and that's a good thing. Our spaces, often crowded, in many cases challenging, uninspiring, but enhancements are actually underway. Council. My involvement or engagement with council thus far, it is like navigating through the minefield. Very strange things happen. There's a lot of bureaucratic processes. They are often frustrating. I think there may be some changes that can happen from within here. You know, collaboration is an ongoing struggle or challenge. I think we can do better on collaboration, and that's a really important piece that we'll continue to do. So to sum up my first few months, what a whirlwind, a lot of work to do, but I'm loving it. I sense this kind of new found self-confidence in the city. The city is really becoming a player on the global stage in many ways. Downtown is growing 4 times the rate of the rest of Toronto, and this is a huge shift, this kind of reverse migration. The number of office towers under construction in downtown, really impressive, particularly because there was almost no office construction for 2 decades. Open spaces that are really impressive, particularly on the waterfront. Cultural landmarks that are being built and have been built, what TCHC is doing in Regent Park and also Lawrence Heights. The whole waterfront revitalization, the largest revitalization project in North America. Last year alone, $12.5 million negotiated in public arts. For the first time in decades, the planning division itself is growing. We have a tripling of our budget. We're going to have hiring of new staff, and that's still not enough, really, frankly, for the amount of work that we have to do.
Something that the city seems to be fixated on is this notion of good state of repair, as opposed to really taking the opportunity to leverage any reconstruction that takes place on our streets with an opportunity to actually do something a bit better.
This opportunity for us to think about how we allocate space is also an opportunity to rethink some of the clutter in the space, and really the opportunity to make great streets. If you know Vancouver and San Francisco, they've always had a very deliberate skyline policy, and it's resulted in very interesting profiles for the downtown areas. So if you look at today's skyline 2014, it's very different than where it was. It's beginning to diminish what was once the dominance of the financial district, and for most people it feels like a wall. I think we need to think about a variety of heights. We need to think about maybe being more deliberate about our skyline. We need to think about a more sophisticated approach to tall buildings. And I think that simply having a separation distance and a mass and a floor plate size isn't enough. The visioning piece. You know, what all of this is going to amount to and what direction it's actually going to result in is something that I expect is going to happen not from the top down, but really as a kind of collaborative effort with my team in city planning and in the urban design division. My hope is that we'll do our own strategic plan, and there will be a vision. If you want to invite me back in about a year's time, I'm going to be able to tell you what that is. So that wraps up the presentation, and let's take the questions from here.